Om Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva. Om Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padpadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhat Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Om. Welcome all. In previous session we saw the ways to the goal of self-realization, and we said that the only primary criteria for realization of the God or self is earnestness, the deep yearning to realize the truth. Once an aspirant follows any of the paths suitable to his or her temperament and reaches the goal of self-realization or God realization, that is, he or she realizes that in essence he or she is the infinite pure consciousness and not a particular personality within a body or any name and form. Such a soul is said to be Jivan-Mukta, liberated while alive, or liberated in life. How come such a soul breathe, walk, eat and do normal function as ordinary people do? That is a question that human being has searched the answers for this question for a long time, but it remains a mystery because we are naturally accustomed to think that since the body is there, the breath is moving and the person is walking, talking, that means there must be a conscious controller within the body. But if the soul within the body has merged into all-pervading consciousness and he does not feel an association with a particular body, then it is wrong to say that he is owning the body and he is controlling the body. The body is being controlled and governed by a supreme power of the self, and the realized soul is not aware that he is the owner of the body. In fact, he or she feels that he is in all bodies, in the entire universe. The scriptures talk about three kinds of karma a soul has: sanchita, prarabdha and agami. For a God-realized soul, the sanchit and agami, that is the accumulated karma since innumerable lives, and that which is yet to bear fruit, both are destroyed by his realization of the self. But what about prarabdha? Prarabdha is that which has produced this particular body, and it is like an arrow that has been already shot at the target. Even if the one who shot the arrow regrets shooting the arrow and thinks that the target is not what he thought and the arrow should not have been shot, still the arrow is already out and it will go and complete its journey. Or suppose a potter is making pot. The pot making is finished and the wheel of the potter is still running. Though there are no pots being made, the wheel is still continuing. Or take an example of the electric fan is running and we switch off the button. What happens is that electricity is cut to the fan, but due to the past momentum, the blades of the fan keep on rotating. Prarabdha karma is something like that. Though the individual entity or the soul has merged into the infinite consciousness, the apparent phenomenal body, like a fan moving after the current is cut, keeps on going till the body's lifespan is finished. So this is how a Jivan-Mukta functions. He is not connected with the doings of the body. Then normally, as is our experience of normal humanity, the ordinary human being is activated by selfish motives and he generally tries to exploit others for his or her own benefit. So naturally we feel the question that if Jivan-Mukta is not responsible for his or her actions. He might do all kinds of sins and might harm others. That is a question from ignorant point of view, because the soul who has attained the infinitude has performed spiritual austerities of renouncing selfishness and all the moral and ethical virtues he has cultivated for many births. So his body-mind complex has become so pure and so unselfish that when he realizes God and his association with a particular body-mind complex ceases, that momentum that is left for the body-mind complex to complete his journey is full of divine virtues. It displays divine qualities like compassion, selflessness, and sacrificing oneself for others. So nothing harmful to others can occur through that body-mind complex. That's why even in Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says that even if the situation is that of a war and opposing enemies represents the adharma and the one who is fighting the war represents dharma, and suppose such a person illumines his heart by spiritual knowledge or gains the self-knowledge, further actions of his body like killing the adharmi or the evil people will not touch such a soul, because he will know that the killer and the killed both are one and the same entity, appearing divided by just the appearance of the body. So such a Jivan-Mukta, liberated in life, saint, displays various divine virtues. And to describe his state, we find Adi Shankaracharya describing in Vivek Chudamani various characteristics of Jivan-Mukta, such as he does not see any duality between myself and the world. His mind is ever equipoised in all situations. Any honor or dishonor, respect, insults, or even physical ailments or physical pleasures, anything does not affect him. We see the demonstration of this Jivan-Mukta in the lives of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ma Sarda Devi, Swami Vivekananda, and especially Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. Because Ramana Maharshi was living a perfect life of Jivan-Mukta. In case of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, there was in case of Swami Vivekananda, there was the flourish of teaching the yoga and path to the world. There was activity after realization, which may confuse an aspirant. In case of Sri Ramakrishna, there was the divine ecstasies and going into the higher Nirvikalpa Samadhi again and again. But in case of Ramana Maharshi and Sri Ma Sarda Devi, the external body-mind complex lived a very ordinary life, nothing spectacular. But internally the consciousness was of one without second and unity with one and all. So this is in just liberated in life, Jivan-Mukta. The goal of each and every spiritual aspirant is to attain to that consciousness which is devoid of subject-object reality and which transcends time and space, body and mind. Swami Vivekananda famously said that a time will come when prophets will walk down the streets. That is, more and more liberated souls would be there. The whole journey of humanity seems to be moving in that direction. Finally, one small point regarding Videha Mukti. Such a Jivan-Mukta, when his body drops, he is said to be attained Videha Mukti. Now, as we have discussed, such terms are only from the point of view of ignorant souls, because the soul who has attained to wisdom has nothing to do with the body and its living condition or death. But for the onlooker, so long as the body lives, he can say it is a Jivan-Mukti, and when the body falls, he can say the soul has attained Videha Mukti. Those are the only technical points. So thus we have seen in brief in these few sessions the key concepts of Vedanta and the goal of Vedanta. We pray that may all spiritual aspirants progress spiritually and attain to that blessed state. Om Tat Sat.